and blessings. It's Tuesday.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Hoffman.
an inmate at Airway Heights Correction Center. This call will be recorded and monitored. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. To decline this call, hang up. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you folks doing?
Hello, Mr. Hoffman. I'm doing good, and it's raining today, and Erin's finishing up her scrambled egg breakfast, and I've already had mine, so it's going to be a good day, I think.
Yes. I was trying to check and see if Erin had received that letter that I sent out to her a while back about visions and stuff.
I don't recall. Erin, do you remember a letter from Patrick Hoffman about visions? No, she's on the phone. She's on the other phone. She said no.
Okay.
She shook her head no, so maybe it'll come in this week.
It's been last month was when I sent it out, middle of last month. It should have been there.
Oh, okay. I scan every prisoner letter that comes in, so I may have it on my hard drive.
Well, she asked me to write her about what I had called one day, and she picked up the phone and was talking with me and asked me to write the letter out about my visions about my brother Jim and things that I'd seen in my life and things like that. And I wrote it down and sent it to you.
I got it. I do have it. Yes, sir. It came in on November the 30th. And let me just share with you. It says a study in dreams and visions and perception. Yes, and it's 6 pages.
Yes.
Yep, I do have that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. She would have read that into YouTube. She might have even read that into YouTube.
Well, I was wondering now, had I included when I had my tonsillectomy at age 13, I'd almost died there from blood loss and stuff. The surgeon had not closed the blood vessels well enough, and I was swallowing and drowning in my own blood. I had crossed over at that time, and there was a vision of a lady in white, and it was like a walkway bridge to a little island and a either concrete or some kind of white sitting place, and I had walked over there with this lady, and we sat and talked, and then she got up to leave, and I says, I want to go with you, and she says, no, it's not your time yet. You have much to do in your life. You have to go back. So, and then with that, I returned back to waking up with my mother calling for help from the hospital nurses and stuff. This boy's drowning in his own blood, and I was throwing up blood clots and stuff into a kidney-shaped pan at the time, and come back to life then, or I don't know if I had died or not, but there was a time when it didn't matter. Nothing hurt, nothing felt bad. And I don't know if it was ether dreaming or what have you, but anyway, that's what I saw, and that's what I remember. So I was wondering if I had included that, because things started changing after that about perceptions and things given to me in a mental dreamscape that came to reality later on down the line.
You know, now that you've reminded me, we have this letter, but you got to understand. We go to the PO box and there's like 6 or 7 letters, and I do scan every single one of them. I don't think I miss any of them, so I do have it. It's in front of me. What I can do, Mr. Hoffman, is I can print it off and mail it back to you, and I'll try to find if Aaron has. Do you want this to be published where other people can read it, or that's up to you?
It doesn't matter to me. What I would like you to do is send a copy of it to Agnes.
Oh, you bet.
That way she's got that in her little archives that she's got there. I don't know. It's been kind of a rough up and down thing for me here the last few days with my pain in my jaw and body pains and stuff from the shingles. Damaging the nerves, and I'm going through constant pain, fire, and stuff, feeling like somebody threw gasoline on my back and lit me a fire. It's that all the time, and up the side of my head, and then inside my mouth now. In the last 10 years, it's been this wonderful dentistry that I received from the Department of Corrections. And
I got you.
Anyway, yes. Yesterday was kind of a down day. I didn't do too well. I was ready to end it all if it was possible, and it winds up like that. There's too much time to think about things, and you need things to happen, and nothing is happening, and it kills me. It really does. It's enough to drive a person insane.
I know. Yeah. I sympathize with you, Mr. Hoffman. I've got other prisoners that have talked about medical conditions that have hurt so bad they've actually prayed to the Lord that they would just die to stop the pain. Yeah. And I'm so sorry that you're having to go through that. There. Yeah. I'm sorry that you're having to go through that.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, our prayers are with you, and I'm glad it sounds like you're doing a little bit better today, and I hope it continues to get better, and I hope they give you whatever treatment you need. Yeah.
I have a question. Have you received anything back lately from
No, no. But there's always a band of devilish hyenas, jackals that attack every prisoner. So there's always those folks, right? And they just simply don't want to believe that there are innocent people in prison and that our system is corrupt. But
well, they've laid off.
Yeah.
They've laid off from me here, kind of, but I expect another assault here in the next while, and I'm going to mark it down as retaliation because that's all it is.
Well, and I had that conversation. I said, you are obviously your own man. You live your life as you see fit. But I did tell her that I would give you counsel not to mention them, and they won't. They'll live their lives, and that would be my.
Well, that's all that I was trying to find out, is if they had pursued that path that they spoke of, or were doing other things. And along that path, do you have a number of likes and dislikes on the website for Agnes and I now?
Yeah, it's not really a website. You're on a Year of Jubilee website, but there's videos, and we've had multiple videos. Every time you call me, that's a new video, because I want people to know your name. I want people to know your story, and you got to understand that my prison ministry is very controversial, and there's like at least nine devils. There's 9 devils that every time I put up any video, they immediately thumbs down and dislike the video in order to keep the mainstream public from knowing about people like you. But there is a few, the Bible says there's a remnant. There's a remnant of good-hearted Christians that can see through all of the deception and realize that we do have innocent men in prison, and they will thumbs up the video. But I don't really pay attention to that anymore, because I just want to put the truth out there, and then if people accept the truth, that's their business. If they don't, well, then I just move on. I can't. I don't beg people to have sympathy. If God has either given them a good heart or He hasn't. One of the two.
Yeah. I have, there was one here that was with me at Walla Walla and wanted to know the website there. I can't even remember his name, whether it was Stephen or Dave or something like that. He's a blonde-haired youngster that had committed several crimes and stuff, and had been on the path of criminal intent for quite some time. And while he was at Walla Walla, we sat and talked and stuff, and he had discovered the life of religion in a way that was changing him as we were talking and stuff. And he had received some insight from me about both Native American religious freedom and spirituality and Christianity and Catholicism and all of those that go into make up my religious being. And he had wanted to get a hold of you, and I gave his I can't even speak. I gave to him your address and phone number, and he was going to connect his website to that in such a way that all of the people that were on his connecting web would receive that and look to that. And that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
If maybe he had contacted you and asked for a Bible. I specifically told him that he should ask for a Bible from you to come here at Airway Heights. He's here at Airway Heights now.
Okay.
And
do you recall his name? Don't say his name if you don't.
Can't.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. There's. I can't.
Either.
Yeah. It wasn't Jesse, was it?
Yeah,
It wasn't a guy. It wasn't a guy named Jesse, was it?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I can't recall for sure. And
Well,
if you don't have a picture of him, well, I can't describe him other than being a shorter feller, about 5'9", 5'10", and stocky build and tattoos and blonde hair and good looking sort.
Okay, well let me say this: if he needs a Bible, we've got an organization called Bible Truth Publishers that will get a prisoner a free Bible, a King James Bible. So that's no problem. Also, if you want people to know your story and to hear your phone calls, all you got to do is tell them to go to YouTube.com, and in the search bar, just type in your name, Patrick Hoffman, and there will come up dozens and dozens and dozens of videos where you're calling from prison, indicating your story. And there's one video in particular where you did a few months back where it says Patrick Hoffman tells his story, where you go through the entire ordeal of for people that are trying to come up to speed. We also have a Dropbox link for you. So if people go to our website, Year of Jubilee, Jubilee spelled with one E, just like it is in the King James Bible, and they click on your Dropbox, they can see your letters that you've written,
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's, it's not so important other than I have this need, and it's how I live my life. I've always been in control of my life, and for 32 years the DOC has tried to control me, and I have had to fight tooth and nail in every imaginable way possible in order to keep my sanity and continue to be me. They've tried every possible way to break me down and make me say, yes, I did it, and I'm so sorry for it, and I'm this and that, and no.
Yeah.
No, the truth is, we found, during this last little time, I found a way to find the trail to where the 9mm was destroyed by the FBI or adjoining groups, and it has to be there because they have to have documentation. It would not be smart for them to include that it was from the Hoffman-McGinnis trial. They would probably put that it was a confiscated weapon and that it was to be destroyed in a timely manner. Other than that, that wouldn't be relevant other than the serial numbers from the company being registered on a piece of paper saying that this weapon was destroyed at such and such a time and such a date. This, but it has to be there because that is what the FBI does. They take in things and documentary things. They document things in triplicate all the way through to cover and make it look like they're doing such a job, such a wonderful job and stuff. And people don't know the kind of dossiers that they have on people that are not doing anything wrong, yet they're in that position, in that frame of photography or mentality or something where if they, like you say, if they have to have somebody that's doing this and support the fact that they're doing their job, they get gaffled up and they go to prison and nobody's the wiser because they're the ones in charge. And the ones, they end up like me. No money, no way out.
Yeah, you're right. And what you said earlier about they want you to show remorse for a wicked action that in your mind and is truthful and the evidence suggests is that you didn't do it, and so they just can't handle the fact that you're not showing remorse. And the same situation that you're describing, it's true with my other prisoners who are innocent. They go to the parole board and the parole board says, we're not going to give you parole. You're going to sit in prison for 30, 35, 40 years because you're not showing any remorse. And they're like, I can't show remorse for something I didn't do. So
yeah, and they can't accept that because I was found guilty, and the U.S. Justice system doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, right. That's their way of thinking.
Ideology.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's their ideology. Yeah, and they try to sell it. It's the new religion, don't you know? Yeah. It's the new religion, and that's why those ones that were barking up the tree at us and stuff were doing that because it's the new religion, and they think that they're on board, and they're the choir leaders and all of this and all of that, and it's made up. Yeah. It's the same thing that went through Germany pre-war. World War II Germany, where, we have a new race, and we're from a group called Aryans, and the truth of that was that Aryan was a word taken from the Hindu religious Sanskrit writings, meaning a person, any color, didn't have anything to do with color or race or anything. It was a person that was on the path to righteousness. Yeah. And they bastardized that into something else, and you've got to be blonde hair, blue eyed, and light skinned, and all of this, and if you're not, then you're secondary to this regime of the Third Reich. You know what I've heard said is when you walk into that courtroom and the judge walks in his long robe, that's like their church, and they're having a religious service, and everybody's expected to bow down to the holy government, and that the judge never makes a mistake, and everything is fair. Everybody gets a fair trial, but we all know that the prosecutors are corrupt. They don't care about what's right and wrong. They don't care about justice. They just want a conviction because they'll get a financial advance, and then their career will advance. But they don't care if a man is innocent. That's not important to them. And so, no. Yeah. And they need a sacrifice for their supreme being. Yeah. And that's what that is. Yes, yes, you're absolutely right. Yes. Yes, and they're constantly offering sacrifices, and if they should happen to send an innocent being to those confinements and stuff, so much the better, because then it makes them absolutely supreme. They have the power over the good and the bad. Yeah. Yeah, they want that power. It's all about power to them. It's overwhelming. Yeah, from their perspective, it's they believe in evolution, survival of the fittest, and it's all about power and control. Whereas you and I don't have any desire to control another human being. I don't want to. You have 60 seconds remaining. Their whole goal in life is to control you. Yeah. I want everybody to be free. Agnes gets things online that I tell her. She tells me she's going to answer this and this and this in this way, and I say, you tell them that Godfrey, that their job isn't finished. It won't be finished until each and every innocent people, not only in the United States but in the world, is free from prison, and so then they can say, God bless America, God bless the world, and God bless this, and receive the true blessing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Our prayers are with you, Mr. Hoffman, and I pray that your health situation improves. And there are people that still care. There are people that still have a heart.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
Blessings be upon.
Blessings to you, Mr. Hoffman.